Hey, thanks, Anjali. And next up on the stage is Divya Momaya. But before I bring her on, what does this picture elicit in you? What does this bring to you? For me, I see frames, and that signifies for me structure, clarity, simplicity, continuity of thoughts, and more. And in coaching, everyone uses frameworks. I mean, Rohini also just gave us a beautiful framework. But what if these frameworks sometimes don't work? What if you are pushed beyond the boundaries of frameworks to do some open sky thinking? That's what Divya is going to talk to us about, designing success, innovative frameworks for coaching excellence. And she is going to push you to think beyond the boundaries of frameworks and garner some coaching excellence that is within those frameworks and beyond that. But before I bring on Divya, who is looking beautiful in her yellow background and yellow sari, just a little introduction about her. Divya Momaya is the founder of Mentor My Board, a platform focused on holistic development of board directors. She's a seasoned company secretary and she has advised boards on corporate laws, governance, strategy, and leadership. So, of course, she has a long list of accomplishments from entrepreneurs today's 40 under 40 to your stories, 100 emerging women leaders, and so many more. But yeah, it's difficult to introduce Divya in all one go. But Divya, we would love to learn more about this open sky thinking from you. Looking forward, and stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello, my fellow coaches. Picture this. The coach steps into a locker room, greeted by a team that hasn't won a single game all season. The atmosphere is thick with defeat. The players are slumped over, exhausted, and on the brink of giving up. The cheers for the stands have long faded, and even the management is losing hope. It seems like all is lost. Yet, by the end of the season, the same team is standing tall, hoisting the championship trophy. What made this turnaround possible? Was it a luck or something far more strategic and intentional? What truly changed? Excited to know? Hello, I'm Divya Momaya. I'm not a sports coach, but I help leaders and organizations navigate some of the most challenging moments of their career. I am a board mentor, a corporate governance expert, and a coach. So today I'm going to speak to you about the power of coaching. And that is also particularly when it comes to balancing the structured approaches with flexibility of creating something new. Are you ready? At the heart of what I do is a principle. I call that as frameworks and open sky coaching. It's the balance between following a plan and allowing creative freedom, between sticking to a framework and knowing when to let go of it. That can unlock leaders to potential. So let's deep dive with me today to understand how the structured frameworks bring order, creativity sparks the transformation, and flexibility in coaching is essential. So we all are coaches or aspiring to be coaches and surely are on a journey of coaching leaders in years ahead and emerging leadership coaches also. So are you ready? Now, frameworks in coaching provides clarity, giving direction, and while navigating the chaotic challenges, they keep you on track, they simplify, and they bring efficiency in what you attempt. Now, we all have seen traffic lights on the road. What happens when the traffic lights are on? We get the structure to know when to move, when to slow down, and when to stop, right? Just imagine if the traffic lights are not working. Oh, it's chaos. Frameworks are exactly like this. They guide coaches on their transformation journey by giving structured way of looking at the things, realizing what are their current challenges, what are the solutions around, and how do they make intelligent choices for success. Yes, frameworks are the rules we all follow consciously or unconsciously, right? But a lot of times, only frameworks don't help coaches, and hence, creativity is needed to spark. It is the innovative thinking outside the confines of the rigid frameworks that often uncovers breakthroughs and that drives significant personal and organizational change. Now, at the same time, a great coach knows when to stick with the structure and when to adopt and adapt to unique emotional strategic needs of the individual who is being coached. Now, let me share this a real life example on how this balance, which plays out in leadership roles. And I'm sure some of you might have experienced while coaching in your coaching journey, basically. So, Mr. Sachin was an executive with a long track record of success. After years of leadership team and managing roles, achieving big results, he hit the wall. Despite his past achievements, he couldn't find himself flourishing. He could find himself stuck, unable to move forward. His confidence wavered and he couldn't see a clear path ahead. And that's where he undergoes coaching with me last year. I began the coaching conversation by applying the well known GROW model, GROW. That's establishing the goals, understanding his current reality, exploring the options, and mapping the way out forward for him. Now, Sachin reflected on his situation, and we together created a practical strategy that seemed a perfect answer to his issues. He would delegate more effectively, restructure his team, and create the space for his strategic thinking. It was a logical plan rooted in the solid framework, right? And I'm sure many of your coaching clients also might have gone through such situations. Now, Sachin remained hesitant. Even with the perfectly designed structure, something deeper was holding him back. He experienced an emotional resistance that no framework could solve. He was afraid of letting go, of losing control by delegating the task to his team. The framework that created options wasn't enough to propel Sachin into deeper reflections, into the obstructions, and that kept him from realizing his dreams. Do you recollect with your situation or your coach's situation? And this is where open sky coaching came in. A structured approach, how we call, are excellent for providing clarity and order, but they rarely touch, support, a reflection into the underlying emotional complexities that often hold people back. Sachin's fear of losing control was psychological block, and it was not the strategic one. So I shifted the conversation by drawing his curiosity and intuition and connected with him at a far more deeper level. I asked him a few questions. What would success look like if there were no limitations? If nothing was holding you back? Now, what could you achieve? And by encouraging him to think beyond, confining those structures, he began to confront his own fears directly. He realized that stepping into more strategic role wasn't about losing control. It was about empowering his team, leading from the higher perspective. And he saw what he was missing in the universe around him and found a new awareness that created a leap of faith. Open Sky Coaching, it creates this space. It's about allowing flexibility, asking open-ended questions, and guiding clients towards deeper insights which go beyond what a framework can address. By giving Sachin the framework to explore, we collectively broke through the mental barriers which were holding him back. Now, this balance between the structure and the flexibility is beautifully illustrated in the movie Chak De India. How many of you have seen this movie? If not, please watch it. So, Coach Kabir Khan takes over a fractured and demoralized women's hockey team. Remember? Like Sachin, the team faced not just external challenges, but deep emotional scars, years of failure, mistrust, and fear of disappointment. Now, Coach Kabir started with the structure. Definitely. That's how the coaches do. He implemented discipline, enforced teamwork, and set clear expectations. The structure helped to bring the order to the chaos. Much like the GROW model, which did for Sachin, it was necessary to build the trust and consistency, but the structure alone wasn't enough. And to address the deeper emotional challenges faced by the players. Now, have you felt something like this when you watched it? Kabir had to move beyond the rules and the drills. He needed to address teams' internal fears, the lack of belief in themselves and also each other. And that's when he embraced open sky coaching and fostering the emotional connections, creating a space for the team to rediscover their strengths. He allowed them to play freely without constraints and without constraints of the rigid drill, I say, helping them find their rhythm. It was the shift, the balancing structure with creativity that ultimately led to the team's victory. Now, coaching, whether it's leadership or sports or even relationship, is about understanding when to hold on to the structure and when to let go. We often default to the structures because it feels safe, it provides clarity, and it offers step-by-step guide to achieve the goals. But there are moments when structures alone are not enough. That is where open sky coaching becomes invaluable. Now, I'm not suggesting that we abandon structures and the frameworks. In fact, they are essential. But as coaches, we must learn to master the framework till it is embedded in our subconscious self. Use it to ensure that we do not get lost in the maze of unknowns. We are truly in the service of our clients when we know it's time to open sky. Give our clients the freedom to discover and explore new opportunities. But let me tell you, while frameworks provide essential clarity and direction, they always don't offer the complete solution, especially when the emotional and the psychological barriers are involved. Now, the ability to pivot from the structure to the open-ended coaching, now when we need to foster the environment around it, now where both personal and professional breakthroughs can occur. Also remember, if only open sky coaching is followed without a framework, it will not derive the strong outcomes, as it may lack necessary structure to track the progress, set clear goals, and ensure accountability. A well-rounded approach combining the openness of the adaptive coaching with rigor of structured frameworks enables leaders to stay grounded while exploring the new possibilities that, like, thus achieving the measurable growth and sustainable, which are sustainable basically, and in the long term. So, as we think about the role of a coach, whether in a boardroom or on the field, the question we must ask ourselves, are we following the traffic lights or are we ready to let our clients explore the open sky? In the end, it's not just about coaching, it's about co creating a journey of discovery with deep connection, intuition, and presence. Let's lead with both structure and open sky possibilities. And I'm sure from today onwards, you will look at the frameworks from the wider lens. Keep exploring during your coaching journey when to create open sky networking. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Divya, for opening up that new concept for us. Like, I think the next time I'm stuck at a traffic light, I will definitely see the red, yellow, green, but also definitely going to see the sky right at that moment. It is so
Thank you.
beautiful that you have to balance both the polarity, structure, as well as the openness of thinking. So beautiful, Divya. I loved the fluency, the command over the content that you had, and the beautiful way you were like managing the words as well as your hand movements. So beautiful, Divya. Thank you so much for sharing that topic.
Thank you.
Kavita.